Hi, welcome back. I'm Mary Jo, also known as Sewjo, and this is my channel where I talk about all my quilty stitchy things. And this is my weekly update, number 125, and it is November 16th, 2025. So this is where I talk about everything I worked on and completed throughout the week. And as you can see behind me, I did get something quilted this week on the long arm. So this was a quilt kit, a prepackaged quilt kit in the box kit that you saw me work on. I think I've been working on it throughout the year, about a year-ish. And this was the Forest Fun Guy quilt from Pen and Paper. Let's see. Now, this throw size, they're saying it's 56 3/4 by 69.5. So mine's somewhere around there. It might be a little smaller, especially now that it's quilted. So I did get it on the long arm, and I quilted it with a leaf pantograph. Actually, it's called Blowing in the Wind, I think. It's got leaves and little swirls and things on it. So we'll go ahead and take a closer look at everything. Okay, so I'm starting at the top. You can start to see the leaves in there with the swirls. We're going down. Gonna go over to the side here a little bit. Over and then back up. So the leaves and the mushrooms in there. So that's what I quilted on the long arm. Now, as a reminder, because I usually get people that ask, I do not have a computerized long arm. It is all hand done with a laser guide. I use a paper pantograph and use a laser guide to kind of trace that and put it on. So it's all hand guided. So there we are. It's all done, just need a binding. Hopefully I can get that done for the end of the year, but as I always say, no promises. Life has a way of throwing unexpected events at you. So that's what I quilted with the long arm. What else did I do this week? Well, I did 2 more blocks on the flower shop block of the month here. Now there's 12 blocks in here, and I did blocks 8 and 9, but I'm going to show you all 9 since we've been there, or since it's been a while. So I do hope to have this quilt done by the end of the year. Hopefully in December I'm really going to hit it hard and try to knock this out. This is going to be my focus project because I want to get it done before January. We'll see if that happens. But so this was block 1. It's been done for a while. Like I said, I only finished blocks 8 and 9, but we're just going to show them all. Block 2. And it looks like the finishing after I get all these blocks done is a little bit more involved, so it might take a while to get the finishing done too. Block 3. Block 4. Block 5. Block 6. Now these signs and things, they are hand embroidered with some embroidery floss. This is, I lost count, I think block 8. Block 8. Block 9, which this is one of the ones I did this week. The watering can. And there is 2 of these, but this is block 10 for the lattice. Okay. So I worked on that this week. And just again, here's what the quilt will look like when it's all done. So I worked on those. Then let's see what else I did. Some sew sampler projects. This is from the October 2022 box. So, you know, a little over 3 months old, or 3 years old. But they had two projects in here. This small mini quilt and this table runner. I was able to do both. So I'll show you those. Let me see if I can find the dimensions on those. The table runner is 18 by 50.5, and the wall hanging is 32 by 39.5. Now the binding is the blue for both of them. But let me show you. Here's the table runner. Now these I'm not going to hang out because it's not going to show up well. There's one side of the table runner. There's the other side. Now, the background in both of these, I was just using stuff that I had in my stash. It is not 100% cotton. It has a polyester blend. So the polyester and the iron didn't exactly go together well. So there's some distortion and stuff when I was ironing it. But that's okay. I'm still going to, I don't know, use it eventually. So you can also see like all the wrinkles and stuff in it from trying to iron it and or press it. But that's okay. I made it work. All right. So, I finished those two. And I worked on another sew sampler project. Let me pull that out. So this is a table runner from the January 2023 box. Here you go. Now this is the Lori Holt collection from her Calico line. Now I'm not a big fan of table runners, but we're working on them. So here's where I am so far. Now these are paper pieced, foundation paper piecing with a foundation paper piecing pad. So here's the start of my table runner. And we've got a long way to go. You know, here's some more. The stars and the sashing that are pinned together. Got my pens in there. Same with this. Got the pens, both at the top and the bottom here, to put these sashings in there. And some more of these. So that is where I am on that. All right. So I think that's everything I've worked on as far as sewing and quilting this week. Now for this coming week, what I'd like to get done is I would like to get the last block done in this Sew and Love book. Maybe start to put it together. Now, if I'm really ambitious, maybe finish this week, but I'm not sure that's going to happen. But I'd really like to get this done this month and this other flower shop done in December, to have those all done before January. So that's what I've worked on as far as sewing and quilting this week. Cross stitch. Let me show you what I done. What I did. So working on these hands-on designs. Now I'm up to the winter, or Let It Snow bungalow. Here we are. Now that I'm working on 14 count Aida chalkboard black. So I do one color at a time, and I'm working on all the white first. So I finished all the white up there in the winter, because there's two different scenes there, two different charts. We have this one and this one. So I finished all the white up here. And then I literally just started yesterday on the bottom, the big chart. There we go. We have a door and some snowflakes. And a window. And part of another window. So that is where I am on that. Now the only other thing I have to show you that I worked on this week is this cardigan. This cardigan that was a free pattern that I got off Hobby, however you say it. Now this is turning out to be quite a massive project. Now I am using a wool blend in this yarn. It's a wool acrylic blend. And I'll show you so far what we got. Now I started out using this gray here, and I didn't have quite enough, but that's okay. All the black is gray. So then when we were adding the front panels here, that kind of drapes down, I used this gray and white variegated. So I've got these panels that are coming down, this drapiness is kind of hard to see. Well, I can't figure out a good way to show you until it's done. And I'm not sure I'm liking it, but you know, it is what it is. These panels, they drape down. Now I'm starting to add the sleeves. Now the sleeves, there we go. I started on the sleeves. These are going to be the sleeves. Now in the pattern, they have us work these big old sleeves all the way down to the wrist. I'm not going to do that because those are going to be like huge bell sleeves. So I am starting to taper those down, do some decreases so it gets a little smaller at the sleeves. Hopefully, once we get some sleeves on and I can show you a little bit better about what it's looking at. Although this is feeling more like a blanket than a sweater, but that's okay. We've got some cold winter days ahead that you can just throw it on and keep me warm, because we got a little taste of it earlier this week. Now last week I mentioned we were supposed to get some flurries. Well, actually we ended up getting a little bit of accumulation. I'm not sure how much, and this we got at our house, but they're saying in the area was 2 to 4 inches, which was a surprise to me. So schools were canceled, even my daughter's colleges, that was delayed by a couple hours. But yeah, but then it was all gone by like the afternoon the next day. So, but it's like snow. Not ready for all that. But it is what it is. All right. Till next time.